Hello, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Laura Sirena, and today I'm going to be doing a tarot reading for the new moon in Cancer. We've also got a solar solstice going on, or a solar eclipse, I'm sorry. I was writing it earlier, and I'm like, solar solstice doesn't sound right, and now I know why, because it was wrong. We have a solar eclipse as well. I do apologize, I do have a cold, so that's why I'm giving my first chance or my first shot at doing some ASMR, because if I whisper or talk quietly, I don't think it's as noticeable, so at least that's what I'm telling myself. So this will be whispered slash soft speaking, and I'm going to be using a spread that is from Ethony. She put out an ebook, just a couple different spreads to use for the new and full moon each month, and in each zodiac sign. So I do them every new moon and every full moon. I use her spreads. So I pulled out my cards, and since it's quiet around my house today, I thought I would go ahead and give this a shot. So this is going to be a reading for the collective, so it can resonate with anyone and everyone. If something does not resonate, leave it and just take what does. Just take what sounds good and what fits with your life. I am going to be using the Rider Tarot, and I am also going to be working with some crystals. I got my nails done today by my 5-year-old daughter. So I got this like messy little bumblebee nail thing going on. So the crystals that I always work with during a reading is selenite. So this here is my selenite wand. And selenite is one of my favorites. It's so pure and it's so clarifying and so just powerful in its own ways. So I love to use it every time I do a reading, and I usually just run it over my cards. And this just helps me to know that my cards are clear and ready to read and give us the best reading that we can get. So this is selenite. Okay, and then the next crystal that I always use when I'm doing a reading is black tourmaline. So I have some black tourmaline here, and this one is for protection and grounding and just keeping me rooted here on the earth plane and in my human body as I do this reading, so nothing negative or meaning harm can come through. We only work with light. So we have this to protect us. And I usually have some type of moonstone with me as well for intuition, for connecting to my intuition. And this is some black moonstone, which I love. Black moonstone is probably my favorite. I do love rainbow and I do love peach as well, but I don't know, I just have such a connection with the black moonstone. So that is this right here. This is black moonstone. So beautiful. And then I do have some blue aventurine here as well. And this just helps me with my communication, keep my throat chakra nice and open. And that way I know I am communicating the messages correctly as they need to be heard. And I usually have as well my 2 angels around me. So I have this clear quartz and then this angelite angel. And they just help to connect me with my divine guidance team and to get the messages from my guides and from the universe, so that I can give that to you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to give the cards a little bit of a shuffle. So the first card is for emotional temperature. What is my emotional health this new moon? So what is my emotional health this new moon? Okay. So we've got the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands, as far as what our emotional temperature is, wands are the element of fire. So fire, if you think of what fire is like, fire is hot. Fire can be a nice warmth, or it can be destructive, right? It can burn down and burn through and burn us out. So with the 8, you see that there are not very many leaves growing on these branches, on these wands, right? They're looking kind of sad. They're not looking pretty good there. They're looking pretty tired. And so the 8 is a place of deciding what you're going to do. Are you going to burn yourself out, or are you going to step back and look over things and see where you need to change what you're doing? So right now your emotional health is not the best, but you have a chance to fix it. So taking stock in things, seeing where you're feeling this burnout, where you're feeling that things are getting out of your control, is very important with this card. There is something you are neglecting. So you're giving more attention to other people and other things, and maybe not so much yourself. That can be indicated with this card. And that a lot of the issues and challenges that you're dealing with right now, they can be solved, and they can bring in a period of calmness for you if we just work through and take a step back and take care of ourselves. Card number 2 is Need to Nurture. How can I feed my soul this new moon? How can I feed my soul this new moon? We've got the Hierophant or Hierophant, whichever you prefer. And this is one of the major arcana cards. And as far as how you can feed your soul, the Hierophant wants you to set up a routine for yourself. So if you've never been the type of person who has like a morning routine, or if you've never been the type of person who's been very organized, if you don't plan ahead, the Hierophant is kind of saying, take care of yourself through setting yourself up to win. Removing the things from your life that are taking too much away from you. And that goes with this card as well, the Eight of Wands. So where can you take steps back and kind of redo your routines? Where can you make room for yourself in your schedule? Even if you have to take away from others, it's very important now. Your soul is asking you to feed it and nourish it. And it wants you to do that through learning. This could be taking some sort of a class. It could be, getting into a new yoga practice, meditation practice, something that brings you to a higher level of wisdom and knowledge, something that gets you closer to being the expert in your interests, in your talents, and in your passions. So if you have not been spending a lot of time doing what you love, this card is asking you to return to that and to really embrace it and to really become the master. Card number 3 is Drop Your Guard. What has been guarded for too long? Lovers. Okay. So this card can indicate that you have been blocking yourself off from relationships. So if you are not in a relationship, you are being asked to open yourself up to the possibility of love again, the possibility of a relationship again. If you are already in a relationship, this is just a sign to reconnect with your partner, with your spouse, your loved one. And it can even indicate connecting with ourselves again and bringing our feminine and our masculine energies back together, just like this card wants us to do, so that we don't burn out, so that we gain the wisdom and the knowledge to not burn out in the future, and to cultivate a self-love practice routine. So that's really important here, is taking care of yourself. And the Cancer energy loves that. It loves to be loving and it loves to be nurturing. So that is a big, big component in this reading here. Sideways stride. What needs to be tackled head on and not through a sidestep around? Strength, 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 strength. Okay, so how can we read strength in this position? Where are you holding yourself back out of fear? Where are you playing small? And where are you not being courageous? Where are you not being confident? You are right now being called to step into your confidence, step into your power, and step into your courage. Lean on your inner strength, that inner well of just rebellious beauty within you. It's time to face that head on, to know that that powerful, wild woman resides within you, right? And just to embrace her and let her out and let her run free, and not to be conforming to society and not doing things the way people want you to do them, but to do them the way that you want to do them. Live your life for you. That is what this card is all about. And card number 5, connections. How can I improve my relationships at this time? Excuse me. The King of Cups. So the King of Cups asks us to really take hold of our emotional health. He asks us to be comfortable, feeling all the range of emotions that exist. There is no good and there is no bad emotions, but to see the good and maybe the less fun to feel sides of every emotion. So don't just look at the happy emotions like joy and excitement and anticipation and love, but to look at the ones like grief and anger and sadness and sorrow and jealousy, and to see the good in those. And if you can't see the good, then at least explore those feelings that you're having and see why you're feeling them. And get to a point where you can master your emotions and that you don't let them get the better of you. This card for me is bringing up a feeling of trust. So if you've been having issues trusting your partner or even yourself in your relationship, now is the time to really take stock on that and to reevaluate it and see what you can do about it, and see maybe if this relationship is or isn't the right one for you. Paired with the Lovers, it definitely seems like there is a strong bond here with the person that you're currently speaking to, a potential relationship or a current relationship or marriage. It's not time to give up on that. It's time to really talk that through, trust your intuition, and be there for the good, be there for the bad, like remembering your vows and not giving up on somebody just because it's getting tough, right? To stay together through the tough stuff and to really work within that realm of strength and wildness within you, and to be your true self in the relationship and not pretend to be who the other person wants you to be, and not to force somebody to be who you want them to be, but to let there be pure openness and freedom of self and expression in the relationship. So I hope that this reading resonated with you guys. If it did, I would love it so much if you wanted to support me by giving this video a like, thumbs up, subscribing, and checking back often for more tarot, pick a card, and hopefully more ASMR videos in the future. So I will see you again next time.